3% now. I've equalised. Hello.
It's because people don't realise that the poll is who's the bigger.
Hello and welcome to another episode of An Echo of Glory. We'll come to why we're laughing in a second. We're not laughing because we're out of the cup. Joining me tonight, Jake Robson. Hello.
Hello.
And the king of nighttime podcasting, back in his rightful chair, is Gary Diamond.
Good evening. How are you?
All right. How are you?
All right.
First time we've been on together since the 6th of September. Did you say?
No, that's when I got the dog.
That's when you got the blasted thing.
Hey,
Oh,
easy.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, it's part of the family.
It is part of the family, actually.
Since early September, first time we played together since early September. You've been back on the grass, but now you're out. Now you're out. Laughing because James's poll tonight it just says pick one. Jonny, Gaz, one of the Jakes, Adam. Adam's not been on long enough really to.
But we don't know what it relates.
Yeah,
to.
we don't know
It could
pick what.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
If one of the Jakes doesn't win, as we're two people, that's pretty shocking.
I'm currently winning, which I don't. But it could be a bad thing that I'm winning.
Do you know what's amazing as well?
Yeah.
We've just started at 10 o'clock. That is the classic nighttime radio slot for Gary Diamond back in the hot seat.
Okay, we're out of the cup. Talk about this.
Give us a minute.
Yeah, but we haven't got enough people here yet. We'll do it twice. Remember to be a member to win the Mickey van der Ven shirt. It's being given away just after we play Brentford in the Thomas Frank derby. I think it's the 14th of December, something like that. We're going to give it away. You'll get it before Christmas if you live in the UK. If you don't live in the UK, you might get it before Easter. Depends when James sorts it out. But that will be going before Christmas. And we are going to give away, in the next couple of weeks, 2 copies of The Miracle in Bilbao that we talked about this week.
Oh, what a show that was.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it or watch it again. Yeah, Tom Barkley.
Great.
Fantastic.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Just followed Tottenham all over the place for a while now. Was in Bilbao.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Talking all over the place. Here's today's lineup.
There's some really genuinely interesting insight in that as well.
Yeah.
I was saying to you earlier that one of the things that Tom picked up on was that, you know, there had been, from the likes of myself as well, some criticism or sort of raised eyebrows at why Ange's approach in cup football was so different to otherwise. And he said, well, it's actually not that out of kilter with what Ange's done in the past. And he pointed to how Ange played in a few semi-finals and finals for
Australia
and other clubs and so on. And said he did play that kind of football, which I didn't know. But that begs more questions even then within itself. But very interesting. It was very interesting.
It was really interesting where he basically, and we don't know, Tom would have spoken to people in and around the club. And we sort of asked him, did he really ditch those principles as he was saying? And he did. And it's been a bit of an argument between fans that it was a miracle that we won
these walls.
Within these walls. It was a miracle that he won it, but we were never really sure if he just ditched it or how it came up to pass. But whatever, he won it. And it's a bit of silverware, and you know we will always thank him for that. One bit of silverware we can't get our hands on this season is the League Cup.
Not nice, but
I
said all nice.
Seamless, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. We've gone out away to Newcastle. When the draw came out, it was like, oh my god, it's a horrible draw. And then we had learnt of a few more injuries. Obviously, we know that Solanke's out, Udogie's out. You got injury list as long as your arm, and then we hear that who else was out tonight? Gray gets injured yesterday or Monday in training. Odebear doesn't make the squad. You could pick a team of players and it would do all right. This is how we did line up. Kinski in goal, Porro captain, Paulinho and Danso have to play centre-half together. Spence at left-back, Bentancur and Sarr in front, and Johnson, Simons, Bergvall and Richarlison. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad side.
It's not a bad side.
He hasn't gone for some other clubs today. Have Liverpool, Arsenal went really young and gave debuts and that sort of stuff.
And still got through.
Not Liverpool,
through, but Arsenal did.
The team was okay.
I thought the team was all right because I was thinking the same as you. Who the hell's going to play? And the one thing that stuck out to me was that defence, centre-back partnership of João Paulinho and Danso playing out of position. Right,
we talked about that on our WhatsApp group today. Yeah. Vuskovic going out on loan. In hindsight, people are saying, "Oh, he should have stayed. He's 18 to start in the Premier League.
I mean, whatever.
But is it a sign of our really bad summer that we're having to play the fullbacks every week at the moment? The same fullbacks. João Pellegrini is having to play centre half because we've not had a good enough summer and backed up that defence enough?
Okay. We did bring in a number of players over the summer. I think the squad is stronger than it was last season. You've already seen the problems that we had in registering players for the Champions League. And so there is a big balance around it all. I think if you are to pick out mistakes that were made, the big one is not Vuskovic going on loan because he's a kid. He's much better off getting game time in the Bundesliga, where he's really doing very well, than getting sort of bit parts here. And whilst it hurts a little bit now, long term it will be much better for us. And I'm sure next season he will be an integral part of the squad. The big question mark over the summer was always that, and I like Ben Davies a lot. Okay, I really do. I think he gets a horrible amount of stick for being an incredible servant, generally very dependable, very reliable, great professional around the club. But that was the sort of contentious one, was giving him the contract extension rather than moving him on and bringing somebody else in. I sort of feel like it was done because Son left the club and they needed a statesman, a figurehead there who could put his arm around some of the younger guys and so on. But I just sort of feel like, you know what, that's what the coaching team should be doing. That's what they should be there for. Yeah. And you can say, but he knows the club and this, that, the other. Come on now. Like, you're building a new culture anyway with this new coaching staff. He should have gone, unfortunately, because, with the best will in the world, he is often injured as well. And if you can't be fit to play when you're meant to play, like tonight,
pointless.
Then what's the point, right?
Yeah.
And so he should have gone, and we should have brought in a left back, and then the squad would look all round much better.
What about these injuries? It's I think 11 players.
Although it wouldn't have helped us tonight in the centre back.
Why? He'd have played left centre half, and Dancer would have played right centre half.
If we'd sold him and brought in a left back.
Yeah, but you don't know if you're bringing in a left centre back. Like if you'd have brought in a Hincapie, for example, I know he went to Arsenal, but he can play left back or left centre back. You bring in that profile of player,
maybe,
and then there you go.
But I think also tonight, I mean, Gray's injured now.
Romero's
injured.
What are we thinking about these injuries?
Dragic. I mean, we've got 3 centre backs out injured. I know people complain about the summer. Huh?
I think we've got more than that. No, 3.
Well, 3 people that can play centre back are injured.
Yeah.
That is more of a concern rather than the actual signing of the set. Because I think centre back would have been very low down the list of priorities of positions that we needed to sign over the summer. And some of the we signed in some areas that we needed to, i.e. a 6, i.e. we brought in Kola Muani as a potentially a third choice striker or a third striker. We signed another 10. When Maddison and Kulusevski was injured, I think fullback is still a bigger concern of a position.
There's 2 gaping areas in the squad at the minute, and they are fullback and left wing, right? Without any doubt, left fullback, I should say, and left wing. With that said, Spence I thought was outstanding tonight, but this is the problem. You've got Takai, Dragusin, Romero all out, and then you've got Archie Gray out.
Well, that's what I mean. That's not the recruitment's fault.
Well, you talk about the lineup tonight. There weren't that many other options that could play.
ITV happily listed the Newcastle injuries, which read Hall, Livramento, and Vissa.
On the 87th minute, he was waxed lyrical about how Newcastle had to put up with
the players we've got out: Basuma, Davies, Dragusin, Kulusevski, Maddison, Romero, Solanke, Takai, Udogi, Odobert, Gray.
Right, but let's go. Right. You say, what about these injuries? Yes, it is annoying. But in reality, unfortunately, Romero and Udogi get injured on international duty. That
I thought you were going to say they get injured quite a lot. And knowing they keep getting injured, another reason, certainly in the fullback position, to have a left back who can probably say left centre half. Because Udogi keeps getting injured.
Yes, of course.
So that's negligence, in my opinion.
You can call it what you like. I mean... they chose to keep Davies, and Davies isn't fit. It is what it is. They probably would have also had thoughts that maybe some of the other centre backs would be fit, and you could push Van de Ven out to the left.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm getting at.
So there's that, right? I don't know that it's negligence, and then you also don't know that they've sort of got their eye on a signing, and they couldn't get him in this window, so didn't want to sort of bust their flush and is that the right phrase?
I've never heard it used like that.
Aside from that,
normally Johnny's flush is busted. But
it has been recently in the old poker nights, having a terrible run. We'll come to the performance in a second. I know people are quite angry tonight, which is surprising because I know we've lost. You're always going to be annoyed. I don't know. I actually
that was a good one, but it's just disappeared.
What?
Something about forwards being shit.
Wow. I actually don't think we played that badly. We will come to the performance. I'm getting slightly concerned about the injuries. 11 injuries again.
It was all Ange's fault.
Well, maybe it's stemming from that.
But something,
but he didn't try and fix it. Whatever's happening, someone in that club, is it the same coaching staff, medical staff? I don't know if they've all gone.
It's not the same coaching staff.
It keeps happening.
No, but hang on. But is it really, right? Like I said, Romero and Udogie were on international duty. Okay, Archie Gray is really sort of the only one that's picked up any kind of long-term injury since he's been at the club. Talk about Kolo Muani. He came unfit, and then he got an impact injury.
The injuries this season have been far less your muscular injuries in the 60th minute, chasing people. But it keeps happening.
What have they been?
What have they been doing? What are they doing in training?
What have the injuries been? If they're far less muscular.
Gray is a calf, which is muscular. Alderweireld we don't know about. Romero is an adductor injury on international duty. Udogie is his knee.
That's a muscular injury.
Yeah, but it was on. You can argue it's not our problem if it's on international duty. These players keep getting injured, and it seems to be the same. I'm actually working on. I put it in our group on Tamworth in the FA Cup on Monday, and I went back and looked at our stat pack from the game last season, and they had the injuries that we had out. 4 of them are the same players that are injured now. We keep getting the same players getting injured, and something needs to be done about it. Right, let's talk about the game today.
Sorry, but is that on the manager?
I don't know who. I don't know. We're lame. We don't know what goes on, but it keeps happening. So whether it was Ange, he's gone now. It can't be him now.
It can't still be him.
No, but someone has to take hold of this situation and fix it. And also,
is this not why we brought in that? I want to say Dan Lewington. That's not his name, is it?
Yeah, I know.
Ray Lewington.
Yeah, and he's not going to fix.
No,
Ray Lewington, proper football man.
No,
they're not going to fix it in overnight,
exactly.
Of course, but it has to be fixed now.
But they're clearly looking at all of these sorts of things.
It's getting stupid. It really is. But the game itself, we don't need to go to the game in too much minutiae.
Why?
Pardon?
Can't remember it.
Well,
that bad.
What do I remember from this game? Spence doing up his shoelaces, Kinski getting sucked under the ball, and us actually playing okay. Overall, I'm seeing WhatsApp messages, I'm seeing on Twitter, and I'm seeing people on here actually really angry. I've seen us play worse this season and win.
Oh, definitely.
3 days ago, I would say we played worse and won. I actually didn't think we played too badly. We are still really, really poor.
We didn't get many possession. We didn't get many corners, did we, tonight?
No.
Having been set piece FC against Everton, do you think that was a plan by Newcastle to really try and?
Quite possibly. It's hard to get around the outside of Dan Burn, and
is it? It shouldn't be.
It is if you're Brennan Johnson. But let's talk about the first goal because that was frustrating. Spence doing up his shoelaces. Spurs were livid.
I don't.
Stupidity from Spence. Do your shoelaces up in the penalty area?
Definitely. Stupidity, naivety. Even if you're sitting on the floor, you've got more likelihood of the game being stopped or not being allowed to start. You've got to go over to where you want to stand, then do your shoelaces up, because the ref won't start the game. As soon as he did his shoelaces up, the game was on, and they took the corner, and he's still running back to wherever he's got to go.
Did it really make a difference?
Having said that, did it make a difference? You don't know, but we were definitely short in the box.
Yeah, you don't know. I think we'd switched off. I don't think we were expecting the ball to come in even. We clearly weren't concentrating. We were a man short in the box. That does make a big difference. Yeah. I think Spence has got to learn, and the whole team has to learn. They said it on commentary, and they were right. I said it at the time. I said Spence should be doing his shoelace up in the box. Get in the box, take your shoe off, wave to the ref, and doing my laces up. But you're in position, right? Yeah. And the whole team has to learn. You can't just switch off like that. And I thought Newcastle were well within their rights to take that corner. I would be, as a Spurs fan, I would be screaming at our team to take advantage of a situation like that. Be more clinical. Be that horrible, nasty team that takes advantage of their stupidity. And Newcastle did that, in fairness to them. It was a good delivery. I thought the marking was poor. I think the whole thing made a difference. I just think we absolutely switched off. Man short in the box, and I just don't think that goal happens if Spence gets in the box and does his laces up there.
And then Richarlison gets booked.
Well,
there's no defence. You can't have a go at the ref for that. The refs just let play.
Not 100%.
I do think sometimes the refs need to understand players.
No, but he was up. He didn't let the corner be taken while Spence was doing his shoelace. As soon as his shoelace is done, what's he supposed to do?
And there was another weird thing. Porro's our captain tonight, and he's taken it upon himself to wander 10 yards over to Spence. So we've now got 3 men out there rather than just stay in the box. What's he possibly saying to Spence over there? You know, just stay in the box. Take Spence's position in the box. Line up. Get your heads on. I thought it was poor from Tottenham. I think that's a big learn.
Very soft.
What do you reckon he was saying?
I've no idea.
Loop, swoop and pull, mate.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bunny ears.
Double knot so it doesn't come undone again. Like, who knows what he was saying? Like, but he took himself well out of position as well. He also wasn't in position for the corner. I think like the whole thing was just
shambles.
It was a bit of a shambles. But what it did do, funnily enough, because up until that point, I didn't think we were in the game. I thought it was a bit of a lacklustre performance from us up until then. But certainly, in the immediate aftermath of that, it just seemed to put a rocket up Spence's arse.
He was brilliant.
And he just went up a level or two, had a bit of anger and aggression in him. And I thought his performance from then on was excellent. And I thought the team generally from then on was very, very good. And I think for all the comments that people are making here and the anger, and for all the commentary that we heard tonight, which I thought was unbelievable, to be honest. You get it every time that commentators go to Newcastle. They're desperate to blow the sun up Newcastle's arse.
Why?
As it happens.
I don't know why that is.
But as it happens, we concede a very soft goal, with the Spence thing. But then after that, yes, Newcastle had some chances. Richarlison could have had 2 or 3 goals in that first half. Easily. Could have had 2 or 3 goals. And then, Kinski makes a terrible error for the second goal. That kind of kills the game. But actually, I thought we were pretty decent tonight. And people won't want to hear that. But when you actually break it down...
Yeah, there's a real lot of anger tonight.
Sorry, there was a point where Sam Matterface on commentary... I'm going to be very careful with what I say, because I know some personal relationships and whatever else, right?
Named him.
But there was a point when Sam Matterface on commentary turned around and went, "Oh, Spurs have got 6 shots on target to Newcastle's 3. Well, that doesn't really tell the story, because there goes my whole commentary." But it was. We had good chances tonight. We were not out of that game.
I hated watching us on Sunday. I know we won 3-0, but I hated watching us. It was walking football. We were giving away the ball all the time, more than we did tonight. Yes, we were really poor in possession at times tonight, because we are poor in possession. But I'm not going to sit here and say I enjoyed it. I said after Monaco...
Some good corners, though.
From who?
On Sunday.
Some great corners.
From us.
From after Monaco, I said, and obviously got pelters on Twitter, 1 or 2 agreed, that in that game, I would rather have played well and lost than the way we played it. I thought we were terrible against Monaco, more organised against Everton, but I hated watching us. But it's a great result when you go to Everton, you win 3-0 and you defend well and save well and you set piece well. Great. Tonight, obviously I'm annoyed we lost. I'm not surprised we lost, but that gives me a bit of hope, because I know we can do the Thomas Frank things, head the ball away, head the ball in the back of the net. I'm still yet to see us. You said Brighton away during the game. When did we... At home, we've not done it. I think we did it well against PSG at times, against PSG in the Super Cup at times. I've not seen us sort of... You know why, actually? It's because Richarlison was holding the ball up better today. We had an out ball up there, so we were able to get in and around him, break through midfield.
He hasn't been playing.
When he has played, he's been invisible for about 4 weeks. Bentancur played well. We were passing between the lines a little bit better. That's what I want to see. Siemens was getting on the ball. Yeah, he misplaced a few passes. That's what I want to see. Ultimately, we don't have enough up front. It breaks down eventually in the box. Richarlison can't score. Johnson does nothing.
I mean, he hasn't played for a few weeks. He hasn't played since Wolves started.
Because he was terrible.
No,
he's been terrible.
Well, but we missed. Yeah, no,
we've missed.
Are you sure he's been on the bench?
We've
then?
missed the first 4 weeks of the season.
Played up front.
Rubbish.
Huh?
It's rubbish.
No, when Tell but when Tell was playing up front, he was playing instead of Richarlison.
But even when Richarlison's come on, in the moments he's come on, he's not held the ball. I know coming on can be difficult when you're chasing a goal.
But what are you encouraged about from tonight's performance?
Well, I mean, from my point of view, there's a few things, and I think Jonny's touched on a couple of them. I thought one was Bentancur looked much better tonight, and it's a weird thing. I think when he plays, maybe next, I don't want to put any blame on Pellegrini because I think he's an absolute. I'm a bit in love with the man.
He was brilliant at centre half as well.
I'm just a bit. I think she's a bit of an Adonis, just an absolute hero. But when Bentancur plays alongside him, I don't know if they complement each other that well. Tonight, Bentancur looked more like his old self from deeper, trying to dictate, trying to control, trying to break the lines, trying to beat the press, trying to break the lines with the first pass, or trying to beat the press by turning past a man. Haven't seen that enough. And once he starts doing that, actually it gets the team on the front foot a little bit and you can start playing. The other thing that they were doing was they're actually getting Simons into the game. You also touched on this. And Simons grew and grew in that game. And there's still a lot more to come from him, but we did start seeing, I think, tonight a lot more signs of him knitting things together. And I thought there were some really positive signs in that game. Richarlison did hold it up better, but take Richarlison out of that and put either Kolo Muani or Solanke in there, both of whom can hold it up, and suddenly, actually, that centre of the pitch is looking good. The other one that I thought made a big difference, and I think he always makes a difference when he's in the team, is Bergvall. I thought he was really good today. He on the ball is so good. His energy is good. I think he needs to learn to not chase the ball at times and stick with his man. Because sometimes his man will pop it off and he will go chasing off the ball like a little puppy. Yeah. And sometimes he just needs to stick on his man. That's my only criticism. But there were, I think, a lot of positives. I think we broke through Newcastle a couple of times tonight.
You talked about Palhinha and Bentancur. Gary, you're now winning the poll. Congratulations. Whatever the poll actually means.
I'm sure it's a negative.
Simsy touched on it.
Definitely not who's the best looking. You'll be winning that, Jonny.
Oh, stop it. It's Jake.
Actually, Jake, you're
look at that Superman glasses.
Finisher.
Who's got the best hair? I'll be 0% gas.
Best finisher. I can tell you about my goal on Sunday if you want to talk about it.
Best goal hanger.
Yes. Simsy touched on it the other week. When Bentancur and Palhinha play together, there's no out. They stand next to each other.
Yes.
So it's a sideways pass.
I didn't hear him say we're not progressive enough.
Yeah, you have to when Palhinha plays in midfield. Just by being on the pitch and going forward, it's not necessarily just an option, but their defence or midfield has to go with him. Yeah. So it opens up passing lanes. And I didn't like that comment.
That could be the reason.
It opens it up because Palhinha and Bentancur stand next to each other.
Yeah.
So just by having a Bergvall or a Sarr.
Okay, so here's one for you. Everything I don't disagree with everything you've said, but how does that work going forward? Because are you saying that Bentancur shouldn't play? Because you said Bentancur was really good tonight. But you've also said, obviously, João Palhinha has to play, and Bergvall's been very good. So
I think it's proved, Jake.
How does this work going
forward? I think it's proved that in certain games, maybe Everton away, where it's going to be tough.
You don't play
you don't always,
your mate Roddy and Roddy Bentancur.
But I think he really likes them.
He does.
That's
what I'm saying. So
but why can't
whatever
Bentancur
positives you take from tonight, how does that actually help going
forward?
Why
can't Bentancur play further forward?
As the 10?
Well, not necessarily the 10, but the sort of...
the 8.
Who breaks out of midfield, like Sarr, like Bergvall.
But you still have...
I just want to pick up on something that Abu says here. He's here for the hate reaction. Not from us three. There's a lot... It's switched around. Normally we get the comments saying you're saying negative. I know we're out of the cup, but that's annoyed people more than it's annoyed me. I'd never fancy... It's such a difficult trophy to win.
I think in answer to your question...
no, but it's good, but it's like, well, how's it going to...
Yeah, but partnerships... on a football pitch, they take time.
They can mature.
You used to talk about striking partnerships in a 4-4-2, and how they the two up front have to sort of work it out. And it could just be the same with Bentancur and Palhinha. What I was encouraged about tonight was with Bentancur. The question was,
no, he looked good.
Has he still got it? Can he actually still do this?
Yeah, that's true.
And tonight, I think he showed absolutely. I thought he was really, really good tonight. And that's a big positive.
But was he helped maybe by Sarr?
That's what I'm saying. I think it creates a little bit more space for him.
I actually thought Sarr was one of the more disappointing performers tonight. I thought he was on the periphery of the game a little bit, and not doing quite enough. But then again,
he hasn't played.
You've got players coming in who are being thrown in, and this is where I'm going to defend someone like Kinski a little bit because this comes to him. I think this was his first or second game of the season, after
Doncaster.
and people going, he's not good enough.
He's 21 years old.
He's 21.
He's on the ball as well. I'm sorry.
He's barely played any football. You can't make a judgment on this kid yet. He's had a shocker with the second goal. That's without doubt, right?
Yeah.
But so many keepers of that age do have shockers. So many keepers of older ages have shockers, right? It happens. Hopefully he learns from it, and I think he's got the strength of character to do that. But people saying he had, you can't say off the base of that era he hasn't got the ability. We don't know that at this point.
He's young. Can I ask Christopher Hall? Me and Chris have having a bit of a head-to-head on Twitter.
You had a ding-dong.
Yeah, but all friendly, I think. Although I think he hates me this week. Christopher's been at the game. He's annoyed that we've lost. I always think that spending your money and spending your time going to the game, you'll probably feel it more tonight that we've gone and we've lost. What are your guys' thoughts on the Carabao Cup itself and going out of it? For me, if we had a full squad, we didn't have, not even a full squad, if we had 5 injuries instead of 11 and we were able to rotate, I might give this cup a little bit more respect. Tonight, I feel like it's a bit of a nuisance. To win this cup, we'd have another game in 3-4 weeks, a 2-legged semi-final in January. I don't think the way our squad is at the moment, because we can't keep players fit, something has to give. Look, we've talked about it just now on the show. Something had to give to go and win the Europa League, and that was the Premier League. Yes, we're not going to win the Champions League. We're not going to win the Premier League. For me, and I'll ask you the question, what's the most important thing this season? Winning another trophy is always important. But for me, getting into the highest table of Europe, which is either the Champions League or the Europa League,
it's not either.
Is key. But you win the Carabao Cup, it's great. You have your day, you win another trophy, you're serial winners. You get in the Conference League. For me, this club needs to be not in the Conference League. It has to be in the Europa League or the Champions League. Yeah, you can do all of those things. In reality, people will say, well, you can win the League Cup and finish 5th. Of course you can. But I don't think we can at the moment because I don't think the strong enough or fit enough.
But I just want to pick Chris up. Chris is a great guy. I think I met him out in Bilbao.
Yeah, I met
you.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did.
How'd you meet him?
Just met him, I think the day before the game.
Did he recognise you?
No.
Can we get to the point? Stop prodding.
Adam.
No, I'm curious.
No, I
As
mean,
in
you got a car. I don't remember all the details. I was
Oh yeah, why?
not entirely sober, but I think Adam Nathan knows him, and I was met him the day before in one of the
Answer
squares.
the bloody question.
I thought it was a bit more.
But Chris saying, the only one we rested tonight was Van der Ven. I don't think that's really true. Kudus was obviously rested tonight as well, and I'd argue that Kolo Muani was also rested, and he's clearly starting, I think, against Chelsea. But it's not even as though we had that many options to rest others, because otherwise you start really sort of getting into kids and so on, and unless you're going to do a Liverpool, then you're probably not going to do that. Look, I think
I mean, the bench was a bit worrying.
Yeah,
we haven't got. They've got 11 out, Jake.
Yeah, exactly. You got 11 out. There weren't so many. There weren't so many options. But yeah, I think it was right to rest Van der Ven. Absolutely right to rest Kudus. Absolutely. If we're going to talk about negatives, then I think you've got to talk about, unfortunately, Richarlison, who actually had a better game, as you've mentioned.
Want you to answer the question, though. How do you feel about being out of the Carabao Cup?
Sorry. Do you know what? If we hadn't won a trophy last year, then each time we go out a cup, that pressure mounts and you feel it a bit more.
Less so now we've won the Europa League?
Huh?
Less so now we've won the Europa League?
Yeah, the Carabao Cup just isn't a cup that I think, as you say, when you're in the Champions League and you've got a long, hard season ahead, and as you say, normally you get to the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup, all the big 6-8 are in it, more or less. It's a tough competition to win. I think I said last season, it's a tough competition to win in the Europa League, by way of the quality and the standard of it, and the reward for winning it. People get a bit blinded by a shiny thing. Like people say, winning a pot breeds winning. Clearly, that isn't true. Like winning every week breeds winning, as I've always said. So and then the trophies take care of themselves. So yeah, I'm not too fussed.
Jake,
yeah, I'm not that fussed. I'm never that fussed if we go out the Carabao early, because
it's harder when you go out late, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's too. Yeah, and I said this. I think I've said this before. I always think in the Carabao to stand any chance, you need a couple of good draws early on. Not to stand any chance, but I think for a squad like ours, that's not the deepest.
Correct. That's why I thought Newcastle away was a horrible.
Oh, horrible! Absolutely. You want to, in order to, especially when you're playing in Europe,
correct,
and definitely the Champions League.
Yeah.
You need the draw to be kind to you. When do we come in? The third round or the second round? Third. You want a third. Donny's brilliant first round. The third round. You need some help in the fourth round.
You'd even take Newcastle at home.
You take
travelling there.
It's not good.
We seem to be travelling a lot.
You need to creep through the first couple. Before you then start going right.
Exactly. You get a couple of good draws, and of course you'll take the Carabao. But going away up to Newcastle, and then you see like the teams that are in the quarterfinals. And to clarify, because George Penn is saying 6 games in the Carabao Cup versus 15. Not sure it's harder. I'm talking about the quality of opposition that you're playing to win the Carabao Cup.
Last year we played City, United, and Liverpool.
Yeah,
those were our draws.
Exactly right. And if we'd have got through Liverpool, would have played Newcastle in the final. Like, we didn't play teams of that quality. I don't think at any stage. United, in the final of the Europa League. I don't think you can say any of the other teams that we played were of that quality, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes, the Europa League is longer, but the quality in that competition, the standard of teams that you've got to beat is higher in the Carabao Cup, in my view, than it is in the Europa League. So I'm not too fussed about going out. It is a weight off our shoulders at this stage, and we can crack on with, the league, the FA Cup. I'd be much more upset about going out the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Much more upset.
Yeah. Jose Mourinho used to love the League Cup. He said you get yourself a trophy. Pep's the same. You could get a trophy by February, and the pressure comes off you. Less so if you're City and Chelsea. They've got to go win leagues. But for me, with all the injuries,
that, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's also easy for them to say that.
I see Abu as a bit of a troll. He's here for the Ange loving. I'm not going to, don't know why I'm giving him any time, whatever. For me, something has to give this season because of the injuries. If we'd rocked up with almost fully fit squad, 3-4 injuries, I'd probably be a little bit annoyed. But I just think at the moment we've got Chelsea, then Copenhagen, then United. Then I know we don't play. All the players go off and play internationals again. Oof. Then we've got Arsenal and PSG on the horizon. And you'd have a quarter-final of the Carabao Cup against probably Chelsea, Liverpool, well, they're out now, a decent Palace team. Something has to give, I'm afraid. We all want to be winning everything, but we at the moment have to be realistic. And for me, this is the one that has to go. I obviously would have been delighted if we'd have won. Brilliant. But
I mean, look who won tonight. Newcastle, Chelsea, City, Palace and Arsenal.
Yeah, and we could have drawn a Brentford or Cardiff in the next round. I'm sure Arsenal will get Cardiff at home in the next round. The draw may have already been done. I don't know. I just think the squad is not in the shape.
First of the news here on an echo of it's probably happened. It happened.
Going forwards from this, I'll be very interested to see how Frank manages, particularly with Kolo Muani coming to fitness and Solanke on his way back. I'll be very interested to see how he manages Richarlison and the number of opportunities that Richarlison gets. I think they should be increasingly limited. And the other one is Johnson. Oh. Because if we're going to talk about negatives tonight, and I know people go, oh, you just hate Johnson. I run out of... I cannot understand what that bloke is about. Yeah. I just don't get it.
I want to come on to individual performances in a second. I just want to put to bed the conversation about getting out of this cup. Yeah. Ronnie says, we are not winning the league or the Champions League. This was a chance. What are we doing here? I know that Siemens has not been top yet. I thought he played okay tonight. Kolo Muani, we still get to see it. Kolo Muani has scored goals for PSG, Juventus. Came on and changed the game in the World Cup final in 2022. Should have won it, didn't, whatever. You are not signing those players if you are not in the Champions League. The Europa League players are probably seeing that now. It's a good tournament, great chance to go and win a major European trophy. If you are not, I know it's fourth is not a trophy. We've got our trophy now. Yes, we all want more. You've got to be dining at the top table to sign these players. And I will repeat, you can win the League Cup and still finish fifth. Right now, I just think it's too much for us. Lucas said, if you're in the League Cup semi-finals, you're playing about 10 games in about 30 days between December and January. We'd lose players to the AFCON. Can't do it. Yep. Tottenham Hotspur can't do it at the moment.
And somebody's picked up on a comment that I made saying, people get blinded by a big shiny thing and you're more interested in finishing fifth than winning a cup. Well, actually, I'm more interested in what it means for us, right? Because finishing fifth means probably that we get Europa League or Champions League. But let's say Europa League. Now, Would I sacrifice the Europa League next season to win the League Cup this season? Absolutely not. Why not? Because I think we can win the Europa League next season, and I'd love to go and win that again. And I do not want to sacrifice that. And that's the big shiny thing. I want to win again. I would love to be in the Europa League again next season. And to me, the League Cup is not worth the sacrifice. Unless, as Jake says, you get a couple of really nice draws through to the quarter-final, and then as Newcastle are, you're playing Palace at home in the quarter-final. Then you look at it and you go, okay.
You've got a chance here.
But am I annoyed or that upset about going out? If we'd have gone out tonight, I would have been more annoyed about the manner in which we went out. And I think that's the key, right? I'm not that upset about going out the League Cup. People can say what they like about me for that. That's just my view. If I put it into a list of things I want to win, it is very much the last one, okay? And I would rather finish higher up the league in order to get into the Europa League next season. So if we had gone out tonight with a dreadful performance and Newcastle steamrolled us and battered us 5-0 and we'd been dreadful, yes, I'd be sat here absolutely spitting and angry. Yeah. But if the question is, am I upset about going out the League Cup at this stage? The answer, my honest answer is no.
Yeah, I don't.
By the way, the draw. I don't like this particularly. Just because Newcastle got them doesn't mean we would have. But Newcastle.
Why? Because it would have been different numbers.
Well, it's just a random.
It's different draw, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just Newcastle, Fulham, Man City, Brentford, Cardiff, Chelsea, Arsenal, Palace.
So we'd have got Fulham.
Well, whatever. Jake, you asked us about 10 minutes ago. Positives from tonight. Does that mean you don't see any, or you were just interested?
No, I said. The things that Gary said were positives. How does that actually help us going forward? Because he said Palhinha was good tonight, but he doesn't play in defence. Bentancur was good tonight, perhaps because he didn't have Palhinha alongside him, or Palhinha plays alongside him. And what was your third positive?
I thought Bergvall was great. I thought
I
thought Spence was
if we
excellent.
named our best side,
I thought Dancer had a good game.
Bergvall's not in it.
But I thought overall the team played well.
Yeah,
I don't think that game was as one-sided as a lot of fans want to make out, as the commentators want to make out. I thought we had good chances. Easily could have got a goal or two in that first half. Yes, Newcastle missed a sitter with Barnes. They should have scored that in the first half.
Oh yeah, they had chances too.
But funnily enough, the two goals that they scored aren't the two goals they scored aren't the two goals they should have scored.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just.
There's a lot of anger in the comments tonight. Genuinely,
Ricky Osvaldo wants Frank out.
Yeah, he's in a bad mood, and that's fine. We've lost. I get it. I know that I wake up when we've lost a game the next morning and I'm annoyed. I just don't feel I'm going to be annoyed. I feel we played okay. Listen, Saturday, who knows? I'll be annoyed if we lose that. Adam Nathan on our WhatsApp, he's not on here today, but he says, I feel much better about the overall direction after tonight than I did after Sunday.
I think that's it, right? But you see, even that is something that I get it. Like, but then you could say you feel much better about the overall direction after Brighton, because I thought against Brighton we played some really nice football. And we looked like we were passing to one another and moving. And that's a little bit like how we looked tonight. It doesn't mean that that's how we're going to look in the next away game. The positive from Sunday was that we were really solid, really strong, gave up very few chances, and were clinical. You know, that's a tough place to go.
What is the problems we had tonight were at both ends?
I just don't think it translates going forward. How we played tonight.
I think every game means something.
But I think
you
partly because it was a weird setup, weird system, weird personnel in like different positions.
I disagree.
Does this give me any more or less hope going into the weekend?
Okay, on that regard, I think
because who's going to play at the weekend?
Well, I thought Siemens played better in the 10. Some misplaced passes. We saw him go past people, win free kicks by doing a little bit of skill, much more than we saw on Sunday and in previous weeks.
Yeah, but Newcastle were much changed as well, so like maybe he got a bit more space. Is he going to get that space against Chelsea with Enzo and Caicedo in midfield?
Yeah, two very, very, very good midfielders.
I just don't. That's what I'm saying. Newcastle wasn't their strongest side. They were probably more up for it than we were, but it weren't not like a Premier League game where. And we were okay. We weren't like it wasn't. We weren't great. We were okay. I think I get the feeling that the positives are there to be taken, but it's more like for the side we put out, we did all right. Is that fair?
I think like.
Or am I being a bit harsh?
I don't know. Like I'm just looking at the performance and assessing our performance, and thinking to myself, well, you know. I think Newcastle missed a couple of good chances. We missed a couple of good chances. Yeah. They scored 2 soft goals, and that was really the difference. How people are saying, how anybody's saying there was a chasm between the two.
But we didn't create much, did we?
But then
I think we did.
Don't think they really did. I think we created as much, if not more.
We had 6 shots on target to their 3.
Yeah, and I think, and that doesn't even count things like the ball across to Richarlison in the first half.
Missed.
2 of them.
He just left.
2 of them. 2 of them that he just missed. It doesn't count things like, I think one of their chances, in fact, I think their corner maybe even comes from the ball going into Richarlison up front. Yep. He should have taken on a shot. And he doesn't, right? And then they break out and go down the other end and end up scoring. That's actually how the second goal comes. Richarlison's got... We've won the ball higher up. It's pinged into Richarlison. He's got it out of his foot to get onto his right foot, right? Just put your laces through it. If it goes wide, it goes wide, right? But just take the shot.
You're talking more. We weren't that bad at the back, which I will give you. And they scored 2 freakish goals, really. But the first wasn't a freakish goal, but it was an individual error really that led to it. But going forward, I didn't see any more than I've seen.
I did.
I mean, keep in mind that a lot of the criticism about our performance this season have been that it's been a bit turgid. They haven't seen much going forwards. I actually thought today there were a number of occasions where it's like we were there.
The way the opposition set up today, you won't get that in the...
But you can't worry about it.
I don't think you can take much from playing against changed Newcastle side in the Carabao Cup.
I hear what you're saying, but you can't...
And still a pretty good Newcastle team.
Yeah, you can't say, the opposition weren't as good as what Chelsea are going to be, so therefore it doesn't count.
Well, no, I don't say it doesn't count, but I'm just saying that...
But the reality is, the passing, the movement, what we did create tonight was... not that bad at all.
Ronnie, can I ask? Ronnie says here that performance was rubbish. What are people saying? Ronnie, I want to ask you.
No, I don't agree with that.
I want to ask you what you thought about Sunday. Did you think that was a good performance? Because I know we've won 3-0. It's a good performance in the way we defended and the goalkeeper played well and whatever. Did you see that as a performance that you want to see regularly? I would much rather see us play and create chances like we did tonight. The problem we have is we had a goalkeeper making mistakes tonight, and we can't finish or we can't score goals. What is your preferred going into Saturday evening, or at the moment with the players at our disposal? What is your front four? For me, Siemens has to play the 10 every week. What is your front four
on Saturday?
When you're picking your team, what we have at the moment, Saturday's our next game.
Players that we have available.
Yeah.
No, I mean just pick anyone you want.
No, but I mean don't pick. You can't pick Kulu and you can't pick Maddison.
No, I'm going Moani up top. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'll tell you exactly what I would do. Moani up top, I would go Kudus on the right, Simons in the middle, and I'd go Richarlison on the left. I actually think Richarlison on the left is very capable. He's an absolute pest. I think he would have a great game. I think it would be. I just want to see him up against Kukurea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't.
He plays left back.
All right, we'll put him on the right then. But yeah, whatever. I mean, I like Richard. I'd put him on the left, and that's what I would do on Saturday.
I don't mind that as a front four. The main thing I'm thinking is though, if Richarlison's not going to start up top, then do you not need him on the bench? Because who are you going to bring on after 60, 70 minutes?
I mean, I worry about that after 60, 70 minutes. But you've still got the likes of Tell, who for me gets a lot of stick.
Dave the Yid, who's a member, so I'm going to bring out his comment, says we haven't had a great performance since City, and the football's pretty dross. I think that's what I've seen tonight. The football itself wasn't that dross, whereas on Sunday it was. We now need to turn. I know we've lost, but we go back to Everton. We've got to turn. Good away performance is potentially, people don't see tonight as a good performance, but take the last league performance into something at home.
Yeah.
And Chelsea is going to be tough.
Chelsea,
because the football hasn't been great, certainly at home.
No. Well, it hasn't been that great away. It's been effective.
Okay.
All right.
Away. Is that not fair?
Yeah. All right. Fine.
But you take that away.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. You take it. It's not bad. We scored. I'm of the opinion we scored 3 goals on Sunday. You take it and you jog on with it. Saturday's going to be tough. How do we turn even Sunday's performance into something a bit more at home. I don't know.
Chelsea's strength is their midfield.
I don't think
Chelsea's strength is their midfield.
Sure, how?
Or maybe.
To do that yet. Because I think he's still learning about the squad, the players, and let's face it, we still don't have our best striker there.
He has a very good record against Chelsea, home and away.
Frank?
Yeah.
I think you know.
Don't know. I remember him winning at Stamford Bridge, which is more than we've ever done. Well, we have.
We've done that.
Yeah. But I think you're right. That the strength is their midfield. So I think you try to take their midfield out. I'm not too fussed about playing wonderful, sexy football.
Yeah.
Like I think you sit in, you let Chelsea onto you, you play an absolute speed merchant in Kolomoani and Kudus up front, and you get them really going in behind at every moment you can. Go direct, get them turning back towards their own goal. I don't need us passing through their midfield. I don't need Bentancur breaking the lines like he did today. If you really want to go for it, right, and play that way, you can even play Simons on the left and put a Sarr or Bergvall in the middle to really shithouse it up if you want, right, with Bentancur and Polina. Like, I don't mind. I don't think we're going to out-football Chelsea on Saturday.
I don't mind, actually, the team that he played against Everton.
Johnson cannot play against Chelsea.
No, I'm not having Johnson. Johnson cannot play.
Well, someone else then. But I liked the Kudus a bit more centrally with Simons sort of from the left.
But then you have to play Johnson. Because who plays right otherwise?
Can he play Odebear?
Not if he's injured.
And basically, our width from the left was coming from Spence, and it meant that, as I heard you guys say on Monday, it's much harder to double up on Kudus because he's in the middle, as opposed to playing from the right, which is what happened. And
Jake, you know the problem? We don't know our best team, and neither does he. I'd love to be able to sit here and pick this.
Yeah, but I think part of that is because there's a couple of really weak spots. So, like Gary's side, it's like pick whoever you want on the left. It doesn't really matter. Then you're going to pick Simons and you're going to pick Kudus. Whoever play. The reason why you can't name our best side is because who should play on the left. Yeah. That's for starters.
Yeah.
And he hasn't quite worked out how to get it going in midfield from a creativity point of view.
No, I think if you had all players fit, I think you could have a good stab at what our best team would be. But the reality is that all our players are a long way from being fit, so you can't possibly know, right? But
Solanke's back soon, isn't he?
I think. Okay, we've gone out of the cup tonight, but as a sort of an overall of where we are in the season, you're right. Away from home, we've been incredibly effective. I see. Yes, okay, we're at home on Saturday, but I think Chelsea would come at us. I think they will look to dominate the ball, and we can play like we are away from home. And I don't think anybody would mind if we are direct and getting it in behind, and you've got a Kolo Muani up front who can actually hold it up and be a real problem for them. The size of the geezer, I didn't realise he was that big, and I think we can cause them real problems. And if you go and beat Chelsea at home, then you look at this and you go, all right, we're at the League Cup, but we've taken 5 points from our first 3 in the Champions League. 2 of those have been away from home, regardless of the opposition. That's all right.
I agree.
We'd be 3rd or 2nd in the league if we beat Chelsea. And you're going, and we've got these injuries. This has been a bloody good start to the season, hasn't it?
I want to touch more on tonight. We've talked about what Sam Matterface and Lucy Ward were saying, how surprised they were. We'd had 6 shots on target. People will say Alan Smith is ex-Gooner. I know Alan's a lovely bloke, but I've just seen I'm looking for Frank's comments here, scrolling through. Well, he's ex-Arsenal, so people think he's immediately going to hate on Spurs. Yeah, it's a night to forget. It's a night to forget for Spurs.
Who says this?
Alan Smith. It's a night to forget for Spurs. I've seen us play so much well. Maybe I've got it wrong. I don't understand.
I took a lot more positives from this than I took from getting pumped 6-1 up there.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean?
Normally I'm the negative one here, but I feel like I'm alone, maybe with you on this beacon tonight, Gaz.
I think we watched the game together, and so you were sort of understanding how I see football.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh right.
You're one of the real thinkers
of the game. That's where you've been going wrong.
Yeah,
with these years.
Yeah. That's why you're winning the poll by 2%.
You should watch more. You should watch more with me.
Well, if you came in here, we could talk about it more.
Oh, how's the dog?
He's so gorgeous.
Really?
So gorgeous.
James has switched the comments
Not
off.
Sure. What kind of dog is it?
It's a golden retriever.
You know in the pubs when they turn the lights out to kick you out?
Yeah, that's what James
Or turn the music up. James has turned the comments
Got a golden retriever, 15 weeks old. Here we go.
Oh, that's real.
I look good there.
All right. I'm going to...
Name Percy.
Who?
My dog.
Oh, we're still on the dog.
Anyone?
Percy Hotspur.
Correct.
Percy Pig.
Correct. Percy Hotspur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
He's not... Well... His name isn't Percy Hotspur.
Oh.
It is.
I thought it was.
No, it's Percy. I don't like it. I'm going to annoy a couple of people here, maybe. I don't like it when people call their dogs Jurgen or Teddy.
Who calls their dog? My cat's called Jurgen. Sorry. My cat's called Teddy. Sorry,
Right,
he was my favourite player.
Like, exactly, but
Who calls their dog Jurgen?
No, but I don't know.
Someone.
After.
Yeah.
I know a couple of dogs called Ledley. Like these players are not going to be around when they might get sold, or they're not going to be
Ledley
around.
King's not getting sold.
But do you know what I mean? I don't like naming. I don't. So I left it up to the family to name the dog, and the kids were throwing around names, and one of them said Percy, and I went, oh. That's my Tottenham connection.
But explain the Tottenham connection for those that might not know.
Really?
Yeah, just go on.
I don't know what you're on about here.
Well, tell the Fulham fan over here.
Ha!
Right.
Who's Percy?
Right. So.
Percy to me is the green train in Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's it. That's why he named him
Right,
Percy.
I see.
So. Henry Percy, otherwise known as Harry Hotspur.
Oh,
okay?
I do know this story. Yeah. Okay.
So for those that don't know, the club was the Percy family were landowners, earls in Northumberland, the area of Tottenham, and when the boys under that lamp in 1882 were forming the club and were thinking of a name for the club, they thought they should pay homage to the family, and actually. Henry Percy was known as Harry Hotspur because Henry, the nickname is Harry, and he was known as Hotspur because he was a fearless knight who rode his horse into battles without thinking twice. Hence, that's also, I believe, where To Dare Is To Do comes from, because it was after him. So as an ode to Henry Percy, they named the club Hotspur. And therefore you get Tottenham Hotspur. But Percy, and in fact you still have, is it Percy House?
Yeah, on the high road, on the high road.
Yeah, which is the home of the Tottenham Heritage Museum. So Percy is a name that is synonymous with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Go and look up your history.
And also the reason why Gary can't come on daytime.
and so, in naming the dog Percy, he has a deep connection to Tottenham Hotspur that will be forever lasting. Yep. And I think it's the most perfect name, actually.
It's also where the lions on our shield come from.
There you go.
Go on.
It's also where the lions on our shield
James is about to drop some more knowledge on us. The lions on our shield, what, come from the Percy family? Allegedly. Oh, so the lions on our shield also come from the Percy. Is that their crest of arms, is it, James?
Do you know what this has done? It stopped people arguing on our comments.
They're buggering off for a couple of switched off.
What's that?
There you go. Those are the lions on that was that's the Percy family shield, is it? That's the Percy family shield. So thank God they went with the lions and not the fish.
Yeah, people have switched off.
They actually switched off.
No. We're gonna leave it there, though. But the history hour with Gary Diamond.
But you've got to know about your club, right?
Yeah, if you know your history.
Yeah, exactly.
It's enough to make
if you know your history, it's enough to call your dog Percy.
And if you want to stay on for the next 2 hours, Gary Diamond.
All right, quick look ahead to Chelsea. We've played them 66 times in the Premier League. Do you know how many we've won?
3.
James says 4.
I said 3. James said 4.
Jake?
Well, I can. It's 5.
8.
Oh,
are you serious? 8 out of 66.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's more than we all thought.
We weren't far off, James.
There's only one at theirs.
Yes.
That one at theirs is one of my favourite Tottenham wins ever. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I can't think of 7 home wins against them in the league, if I'm honest. I can think of Aaron Lennon, Ollie Skip.
Yeah.
Delhi's
the Kane one.
Kane one.
The Delhi one.
That's they're different games?
Yeah, the Kane was the hat-trick.
So that's 4.
The Delhi double.
That's 5 wins.
Oh,
the
Gareth Bale, John Terry sending off one.
Did we win that?
Yeah.
We did win that.
Yeah.
So there's one more, yeah.
Oh, is it? Have we got
Conte?
more or less?
Conte managing them. Didn't we beat them? No, he switched it up. That was when Conte went to 3 at the back and beat us. Anyway, 8 wins out of 66. They are blowing hot and cold.
They're a funny team.
They were terrible against Sunderland.
Well, I don't know. Again, I thought Sunderland were fantastic in the way that they defended.
Yeah.
But Sunderland played in the way that I'm kind of suggesting we play, because Chelsea will be better on the ball than us. They will dominate the ball. They will dominate possession and territory and field tilt and whatever else, right? But defend like Sunderland did. Defend like Sunderland did. Dig in. they got that winning goal because they lumped it up. The geezer held it up, and off they went. Right?
They're a bit like
Bosh.
us, though, in a sense. They've got, I think, their biggest question mark is around their creativity right up top.
Well, João Pedro is due a goal, so
yeah, but
And
he's
he's
not been great of late.
And look, they've got
Delap's suspended now. tonight.
Delap suspended now.
yeah, and what's his face? Cole Palmer's definitely out.
Cole Palmer's not playing. Mark Gue, not really. And then they've got a big question mark still over the goalie.
So yes, very much so. So Frank's record against Chelsea is played 9, won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. So one of his threes is going to go. At home, a 0-0 draw, a 2-2 draw, a 0-0 draw, and a 2-0 defeat. He actually hasn't beat them at home. He won 3. He has won more times at Stamford Bridge than we have in Premier League history. He's won 3 there in the Premier League. Incredible.
But it's fine because we're playing them at home.
Well, no, it's not fine because he hasn't beaten them at home.
It's not fine.
Tough game, but this is the start of a run now, and we've got to start seeing. We've got to have Romero and or Doggy back.
Is there any chance of
What,
either
for
of them?
Saturday?
Well, they're out training.
Are they? The doggy?
On the grass.
What does that mean? Are they on their own or are they with the group?
I can't say.
Do you think, going back to the injuries, Adam said this.
Not with the group.
Adam Nathan was getting really annoyed about this. That we, as fans, we need to be told a little bit more about what's going on.
There has to be a reason that they don't and that they keep their cards close to the chest. It is frustrating, but then again, in years gone by before social media and before this sort of constant
ITK.
constant need
Stream of news.
need for knowledge and so on. You didn't really know much about anything. So I don't know. I guess as well it puts a bit of pressure on the players to say they're this far away or whatever. Rather just keep it quiet, let the players come back in their own time. Also gives the club that bit of leeway to not push them, not rush them back, or bring them back, but hopefully don't bring them back too early, because as we've done against Chelsea last season, you bring back Romero and Van de Ven, and bosh, your season's done.
Do you remember that lift we got when Bentancur came back against Bournemouth? Did we win that game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge lift. Look, it's one of those where if you see Romero or Dogi in the lineup on Saturday, of course, it's going to give you a lift. At the same time, I would have in the back of my head, ooh,
just to say, the comments are working. We can't read them because James has broken them. So keep commenting. I can see them here on YouTube. Sorry, go on, guys.
I would have in my head.
Thank you, James.
Are they bringing them back a little bit too quick? But regardless, I think we can beat Chelsea without either of Romero or Udogie. It's going to be tough, whoever's playing.
Midfield's key. He'll play Bentancur and Paulina because Caicedo and Enzo are possibly two of the best partnership in the Premier League. Enzo is fantastic.
I would be tempted actually to change what I said earlier. I would actually go with Bergvall or Sarr in front of. I'd probably go Bergvall in front of Paulina and Bentancur, and I'd go Simons on the left.
Well, he started with Bergvall slightly to the left tonight.
Yeah.
And Simons in the 10.
Yeah, so something like that, I think. But definitely 100% Kolo Muani up front.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask for predictions because bloody Chelsea, and I hate thinking about it.
You said that though about Enzo. I think Maresca got a little bit. Wasn't sure what the best way to play was last week because he played Pedro off Mark Gue. Whereas
were you there at the game?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
But and so Enzo's been at his best when Palmer doesn't play and when he plays in the 10. So I think for Spurs fans that don't know much about Chelsea, just watch out for that. If Enzo's playing in the 2, he's not as effective.
In the 2, as in next to Caicedo.
Yeah. He doesn't get as many goals and assists and do.
So he played who behind Pedro?
No, he played Pedro and he played Gue up top. So Pedro in the 10.
Yeah, Pedro in the 10.
Mark Gue as the, and so Enzo plays a bit more withdrawn.
Oh, yeah.
When Palmer isn't fit and Enzo plays in the 10, that's when he does his damage.
Okay,
so
he might do that.
I'd be
Saturday.
more worried if he plays like that.
He's a top player.
Who?
For Enzo, you'd want that for £110 million, whatever it was.
He came good eventually.
I mean, how much they pay for Caicedo? 100, Enzo 100.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
A couple $100 million.
And look, if we think about Simons, right, and people having pop at him at the minute, Enzo came in. It took him a long old time to find his feet, and he was 100 million.
And
had
Caicedo.
won a World Cup.
And Caicedo.
Well, Caicedo had done well for Brighton,
but
it took him a while to he wasn't that. Everyone was saying why they spent all this money.
But this is what I'm saying when like people sort of criticising Simon, saying, "Oh, he's not good enough." Like, it takes time.
Yeah,
All of this takes time. The whole thing with Frank is going to take time.
Yeah.
I think everybody just needs to chill their boots a little bit. We are, I think, at this moment, further ahead than what I would have expected personally, and the signs on the whole are going in the right direction.
But we're out of the Carabao Cup.
We're at the Carabao Cup. We have to start winning at home, and we are now embarking on a ridiculous run of Chelsea, Copenhagen, Man United, Arsenal, PSG, Newcastle again, all coming up. So we've got to start getting results. Hopefully we can do that on Saturday. Ladies and gents, we're going to leave it there. We're back on Monday. James, do you want to just show the Mickey van der Ven shirt? There we go again. I will repeat.
Give us the wide.
Give us the wide shot. You've got to be a member to win this. We're going to give it away just after Brentford in early December before the Slavia Prague game on that Monday. Someone is going to win that. You have to be a member. You also have to be a member to get your hands on a couple of copies or a copy of Tom Barkley's book, The Miracle in Bilbao. We're going to draw. When are we going to draw that? I'm going to make a decision. We are going to draw that on Monday. I'm going to do it. We're going to draw it on Monday.
It's fantastic.
During the show.
What a book.
We're going to give it. Yeah, this Monday. And you're going to make a nice graphic. That spinny wheel thing I've seen you do on FPL Juice.
The book, James, not the Van der Ven shirt.
No, the book. We're going to give that away. So we will be back on Monday. It'll be me, Jake Sanders and Adam Nathan. And we will see you on Monday after we've got our 9th Premier League win against Chelsea. See you then, and up the Spurs.